Good evening. We'd like to welcome everyone this evening to the Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission's meeting. The clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. Commissioner Grant?
Here.
Commissioner Francis?
Here.
Commissioner Short?
Here.
Commissioner Miller?
Here.
Commissioner Perkins? Commissioner Miles?
Here.
Commissioner Estelle?
Here. If everyone's had a chance to read the minutes of the May the 25th, 2025 meeting, get a motion on that, please.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Grant?
Yes.
Commissioner Francis?
Yes.
Commissioner Short?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yeah.
Commissioner Miles?
Yes.
Commissioner Estelle?
Yes. Next on the agenda is this discussion concerning subdivision regulations from homeowner associations, green space requirements, and recreation areas. Tyler Frazier, give it that.
Yes, it's simply being brought back as there have been concerns about the vote that happened at the last meeting as it was listed on the agenda as purely as discussion. So out of abundance of caution, we're going to hold that vote as being invalid right now. So that issue is still going to be before this board. However, it's only listed tonight just to inform the board as such and to move on to the next item.
Go to the next item. Okay.
Number 5.
Next on the agenda will be proposed text amendment for section 406.5 of the Richmond Development Ordinance regarding overnight shelters. Tyler, you got that?
Yes, it is before.
Yeah. So you guys have a chart from me just saying that it's right now proposed to be conditional in every zone. So that way, every single time that they wanted to put it anywhere, they would need to go to Board of Adjustments for a conditional use permit. But obviously, it's up to you guys where it's conditional, where it's permitted, all that.
What do you mean by overnight shelters?
Overnight homeless shelters. So it would just be they would show up, my understanding is they would just show up overnight and then go about their business during the day. But
We currently don't have a zoning classification for that use.
No, we don't.
Is the problem, so we want to present it to you all to make that decision where it should be, and we're thinking if we put it conditional in all uses, then they would need to come in front of the Board of Adjustments to get that conditional use.
Yep. It seems like the churches usually handle a lot of the overnight situations like that, so
Yep.
I
So
don't know.
we
Do we have any now?
Do what?
Do we have any? Where do they usually go now?
They're popping up here and there, is what I would say. Madison Home on Fifth Street was an overnight shelter for about a year, but they no longer are doing overnight stays. I know there's a push from some other nonprofits in Rich and some others, and I think there's some folks here tonight that are helping with this problem. So we just want to be prepared to put them in the right place to where they don't pop up next to residential homes and in neighborhoods.
Well, according to this, if it's conditional, they could pop up next to R1 and R2.
That's correct, if the Board of Adjustments approved it as a conditional
right,
use.
yeah.
So if you all want to change it and make it in, just for certain zones, that's fine, we're just kind of putting it out there to
I
y'all.
don't think you'd allow conditional on that. I think, if somebody pays for a home all the time and then you put an overnight shelter there. Now, a lot of places are
Yeah.
for it, but I don't think R1 and R2 is a good area.
No, I'd say not.
Sounds like we need to designate areas rather than just,
Try to
Well,
designate
certain
areas.
areas.
If we would do that, that would come in place, with the, like the homeless shelter there. And it's, and then like the new business there on Second Street. So how would you go about doing that?
Tyler, you don't see any
And then
federal
the
issues with
churches,
it?
you got some of the churches are doing it.
Well, I don't have any trouble next to businesses. I don't really have trouble next to some R3 maybe, but I do have trouble with R1 and R2. So I think
Do
right
we have
now-
that many in R1, R2? I mean, of course, it could happen, but, I just,
Oh, it will happen. But, yeah, we do. We have some federally mandated ones that we can't do anything about over
Yeah.
on Barnesville.
Oh, exactly, yeah, and those are in residentials.
And that's old Barnes Mill Road, but those are
Right.
protected by Federal Disability Act.
And they've done very well with them. I'll be the first one to say that.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed. I mean, they're within just, distance from where I live, and I'm kind of worried about it, but I tell you what, they keep the place up really nice. No issues whatsoever.
They had trouble initially, but they straightened it all up. Now, that doesn't mean that this is going to be,
Oh, yeah, but this one here, I'm just throwing that in.
I would address that those are separate cases under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Those homes are
Gotcha, so it's
protected.
two different.
And here it is simply overnight stays for a homeless population, not to say there aren't disabled homeless people.
Just
It's a
homeless.
different
Exactly, I understand
designation.
what you're saying.
yeah, but that's even worse for R1 and R2.
I think you need to take industrial out too.
Yeah,
If somebody gets hurt, messing around with some equipment. For
So
some-
how about I make a motion and we don't do R1 and R2?
in industrial.
And industrial now.
and industrial, yeah.
There's just too much, you think about the equipment and the
That's
type
true.
of stuff that's out there, if somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it pleases the board too, we could do some research and see what other cities are
Yeah.
doing.
Okay.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Came at us pretty quick and we wanted to get it in front of you, but we can certainly put it on the back burner and look at what other cities are doing because they're dealing with the same problem. And report back to you at the next meeting if that works.
That's
That
us
is-
knowing
Sounds good.
exactly
Sure.
what's going on here. I mean, what we've been doing for our history.
Sure.
It's worked very well, but yeah, we do need to kind of make sure we got everything in our
Yeah,
ducks in
and
a
it seems
row.
to me like they were kind of congregating off the eastern bypass behind one of those motels. And then, I don't know, let's see.
Over by
I don't know,
Lowe's.
it just seems like there are areas that we could choose. And with the women's shelter and hospice kind of back in there, maybe would
Yeah.
not be. I mean, I just think we can probably designate certain areas.
You know-
And I think we can get input from some nonprofits as
Absolutely.
well that are helping with this
Yeah.
between now and then to give us some insight where
Okay,
these
good.
might be.
yeah, I mean, they're all over town. I mean, they're looking for spots,
Yeah,
not only there, but they all over. They're
yeah.
all over town. But yeah, if we could get some more information on it, just to make sure that we're doing the right thing about it and putting it in the right location.
Do they have anything they want to input, they want to add
Would
to
you like
that?
to come up?
You all want to say anything?
Give your name, please, when you come.
So my name is Monica Barnes, and I am in the process of founding a new homeless solution for Madison County, along with Jamie Jordan and Jesse Shepard. They are co-founders with me. We are working closely with Enrich with this. We are live with the Secretary of State. We have filed for our nonprofit status. There is no funding yet, but we are in the process of looking for a building. So a couple months ago almost, I sent an email and said, hey, we're looking for property, but I need to know what it needs to be zoned so that we have the fewest number of hurdles to go through. When the shelter closed at Madison Home, April 1st, I was running Madison Home, so I saw the people that I had to put out on the street. And I knew that the problem was immediate. There were 40 people that had to start sleeping in the streets that next night. So I'm trying to move as quickly as possible because our county needs it, our city needs it, because there is not a shelter option at this point. So that is what we're doing. I'm coming to looking for help so that I know where we can be looking for a building. I've looked at some regulations today on the size of building we need, and I'm going to need a really large building, I think.
Okay. So this would help you too if we could, whatever regulations we put in
Yes.
for the, yeah.
Because ideally, so our name is Madison County Haven of Hope, and we really need to be open by the winter.
Yeah, it's weather.
Yes, because weather related.
Yes.
We do have a temporary solution right now that the Church of Christ is kind of backing. So it is not necessarily Haven of Hope, but I'm facilitating that. Jesse and Jamie are both facilitating that with the Church of Christ. They have rented a property that we are using right now, and we are monitoring very closely for an extremely limited number of people. But in the winter, I don't think that Madison Home is going to be ready to open back up. So I don't see a shelter option unless we have one.
Will that affect your grant funding? Do you need that? Do you need the zoning stuff kind of for your grant funding, or are you going to meet your timeline on that? Just curious. You said you were getting funding, you know.
Well, right now, we do not have
Okay.
funding.
All
Yes,
right.
so
Thank you.
grant writing is about to happen.
That's what I was going at,
Yes.
dates, making dates,
Yes.
so.
But we are looking at properties. We looked at a different property yesterday, and all of these properties are zoned something different. But I know that the least hurdles that we have to go through to get into a building quickly is ideal for us.
Well, a building that big, you know, I said no to industrial, but a building that size may have to go into an area like that. Do you guys have like rules that the people, when they come in, that you have established rules, they know it, and so they're signing it like a liability waiver and?
Yes, we do a liability waiver. We do a waiver of reasonable expectation of privacy. And that was something that the police department recommended that we do so that we're able to search their property if they are in our building. At Madison Home, the police couldn't come in and search our building for drugs or bring a drug dog because the people had privacy, reasonable expectation of privacy in the Madison Home building because they were living there. So it was recommended that we have a waiver for that. We used an attorney and created a waiver for that so that we can protect ourselves, so that Haven of Hope can protect themselves and the community that is in the building. So there are lots of waivers that we do use in Haven.
Will the city of Richmond, can they put forward a little bit of funding also?
I tell you what, we have exhausted all of our ARPA funds, and we have given, you know, I figured it up the other day, between Enrich and Madison Home over the past 2 years, over $400,000.
Okay.
So moving forward, we certainly want to see some matching funds from the other local governments in our community.
And I
We
bet
feel
the
like-
churches too would
Yeah,
match.
we
Yeah.
feel like we've stepped up, and we'd be fine to match what other local governments will do.
Do you all have other questions?
No, that's it.
Do you all have anything you think you can do? Yeah, go ahead and add, Jerry.
Come up.
Just a quick ad. I'm Jamie Jordan, and you're asking all the right questions. We want to work with you all. We want the right place. We also want an emergency shelter. We're also working on a transitional living program. We don't want the homeless to remain homeless. A lot of them just need a temporary place to be until they can get the job, save the money, and get back on their feet in their own place, get on the housing authority list. I'm also on the Section 8 board, and to work through that once that's running again. So the placement is key. A lot of these folks don't have transportation. So a place where they could get to on foot would be good. And I just think if they're indoors and under a roof and they're not in encampments all around, it's going to be better for our community that we all love. So, yeah, we're just asking for your all's help to find the right place to do this.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there would be if we just, if you could just look into it and
Yeah.
just see what the other places are doing, then we can come back and make a decision on the area for it.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Okay. Get a motion on it. We don't have to do anything with
I don't think
that.
we need to
No,
vote.
we're just
Okay.
going to wait for them to
Yeah,
come back
just
and kind of
discussion.
design what zones should be.
Next on the agenda is discussion of proposed Chipotle development adjacent to 859 Eastern Bypass.
So this
Rob.
came into us last week, and I think they'll be on the July agenda to present to you all. This is a drawing of a Chipotle which is going to go on the end of the Office Depot in Carriage Gate Center. So if you think of where Menards is and the road that connects over to Carriage Gate Center, and then where that stoplight is, it comes up to Office Depot, and then you go to entrance into Carriage Gate. It's going to be on the end of that building. I talked to the owner of that shopping center, and he wants to come in and present it to you all. We'll have a pickup window, So the wall to your left, where there's a drive-through, that's a pickup window. It won't be an order window, so you call ahead and then drive through and pick it up. But he seems to think it will not block through traffic or cause any congestion. But I wanted to get it in front of you all to start thinking about it before people show up and start convincing you that it'll work.
Mr. Fraser, when we did that Menards, we had another exit going over that way with a traffic light, remember? The reason we put that was not just for the traffic light, but so we could get to the shopping center without them coming back on an bypass and coming back around. Now, can you look into it and see if we explicitly said that, it was to be a collateral?
Yes, I'll
If
look
it is, then
into,
he can't build there.
I'll look into all conditions and restrictions that were put
Yeah.
in place with Menards and the current shopping center.
Exactly, because that was one of the big issues, if you remember.
Absolutely.
Well, I
We'll
guess
have that information to get to the board.
Something else too, now, the ownership with that shopping center there, with that road, I mean, if they own it, they could block it off.
Not if explicitly said it was a collateral to the other shopping center.
Well, I mean, but if they own it, I mean, we don't know what it is about the ownership of that.
That's something the owner kind of expressed to me in my conversations with him, was that he was a little upset that during the Menards construction, some of the heavy equipment had impeded on his parking lot and done some damage. So obviously they do own it, and
Because see, there was nothing there but Menards before. There wasn't anything there. I mean, to go through there, and
Yeah,
I
that's
just, I don't know, maybe if they just let them use it, to come through there or not. But you can find all that out.
yeah, I think
just to
Dr.
make sure.
Miller makes a good point. We need to find out
Yeah,
what we can and can't do there with that.
Before
Make
they
sure.
get in here.
yeah.
And that eliminates it's one exit too. So they can't get out. So there's only one major exit, and then there's another one where you can turn right and go. So that's going to limit your,
So the drive-through lane is parallel with the bypass, correct?
Yeah, so Dr.
Yes.
Short, just to show you, so the
Drag
diagonal
that way.
here,
Yes.
the diagonal there is Office Depot, okay? So that is the, that's the loading dock, thank you, for
Yes.
Office Depot, okay?
Uh-huh.
So that is that. That's the loading dock. This is Office Depot,
Correct.
which is what this is, okay? So you would, let's say you're coming from over in Menards. So
Okay.
Menards is over here somewhere, okay?
All right. Coming up to
So you come over and you're driving, and this is the back of Office Depot. And you come over, and everybody comes this way to go to like Hobby Lobby and everything else, right? You would enter the pickup window, as they're calling it, here. And so you would turn right into the pickup window, come around, and when you're waiting to leave, you'd be looking at what, I guess Walmart and all that over there. So you'd be looking across the bypass here. So you would be looking roughly right, that you'd be about here,
Gotcha.
looking this way.
So that's going to essentially block off the traffic
Yes.
flow from, well, they can't do that. Well, that's awful.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. We
That's
don't
why we're
know if
here.
they own that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what they have
We don't
there.
care.
I mean, it's
We
already
just don't want
congested
that.
there.
Yeah.
Trying to, that stoplight's so long.
I mean, there are plenty of
right
spots.
there,
I mean,
right,
that's
that
huge.
It takes forever to get that stoplight.
Yeah, and it's a huge parking lot. They
Yeah,
could put
you
that
would-
in the middle of the parking lot.
You would roughly enter
I'm surprised they didn't
here-ish
choose the
and
middle of the
leave
parking
there.
lot.
Yeah.
That's
I
an
mean, you
ideal
got
spot for it.
Freddy's, you've got all those little Dutch boy, you've got
Yeah,
all
he's
that
got plenty of
going.
places that they could build out there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of out parcels.
I'm against it.
Well, I think you'll get to vote next time.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So we just wait and see
Yeah.
what you can find out with that.
We'll provide all the
That'll
information.
definitely help. Absolutely.
Try to get
Okay.
it done, and now that we're
Next on the agenda is other business.
I just had one item for you all. So our comprehensive plan is in the data collection phase right now with Bell Engineering and TSW. We do have our first public meeting. It'll be July 15th at the Active Living Center, which is out by the bowling alley, and it'll be between 5 and 7. And then there will be a joint board meeting between the Planning and Zoning Board and the Commission board members on August 21st at noon. And that'll probably be a couple-hour meeting, and they'll do a presentation of where they are with the comp plan to you all and get you all's feedback and input. So we're moving along with it,
Okay.
yeah.
And with the commission, that'll be over here.
Yeah, it'll probably be, with everybody involved, it'll probably be upstairs in the training room, give us some more room.
Is that all you have on
That's
that?
all I've got yet.
You said it would
Okay,
be at
thank you.
12?
Yeah, noon on August 21st. And if we needed to change that to get everybody involved, we can certainly look at a time change. I can ask the mayor for that.
Okay. Hicks, do you have anything on the director's report, Tyler? Ron? I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
Hey.
Commissioner DeGrant?
Yes.
Commissioner Francis?
Yes.
Commissioner Short?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Miles?
Yes.
Commissioner Estelle?
Yes.
Thanks so much. What time is it?